welcome. Happy Monday. I'm Nova Minokawa, your fallen star rising to the top of your hearts here with a art stream. How was everybody's weekend? And how was your Mother's Day? Art Monday, yes. What is this thing loading next to me? I don't know what that is. Hold on. Ah, okay. I know what it was. We're all good. Art, art, art! I had a decent weekend. I did not get to see my mother because she is in the Philippines right now with my sister. I did not go, unfortunately, but I did message my sister to message her because she is not really contactable right now. But yeah, they're having an amazing time without me. Sob. I just couldn't take off for that long. I have a lot of trips planned this year and I need to save it up. But on the contrast, I have so many sick days and I'm trying to use those up. But let me bring up what I'm working on here. The loading circle was actually Comet, but we do not need that there right now since she is not streaming and she's not on the stream right now. But I've been doing a lot of stuff today and yesterday. I've been making a clown version of myself. I actually finished the drawing, but I'm going to be rigging it as well. And I'm in the middle of doing that. Let me show you guys what it looks like so far. Here is the finished art, but a couple of these things are like overlapping right now. So for example, oh hello Volo. For example, the collar should be like behind the head. Oh, not quite like that, but you get what I mean. And then the arm as well, this top forearm should be in the back, but it needs to be in the front right now because of the way that the folder is. So I want to keep it in the arm folder, and then I'll be like messing around with that in live 2D. But I've got like skirt pieces here all divvied up. You can see all this stuff. I got my nose, noseless there. Got my hat and the buttons and all that. So yeah, it's I'm really happy how it turned out. So I hope I can rig it well. You know, I don't rig too often, but I think I'm getting better. And I definitely want to do this as well. Hello, Flam. Hi, nice to see you. How are you today? But yeah, I'm gonna be working on Chalice because I do want to finish this. I really like how it's turning out, but I've been sort of procrastinating on him because he is he's really complicated, so yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm also excited to see how well it'll turn out. I would really like for my models to be a lot more flowy and bouncy. I don't know if I'll be able to fix this stupid eye problem that I have where I keep blinking individually, but we'll see. Alright, I have this coat here. What is this? This is the side. I'll draw him from the side here, and then I have another side profile where it's the right side of his head, but I am not going to draw the full body for that. There's no need. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good weekend. What happened besides Mother's Day? We did visit Mordio's mother. So that was nice. Had a little pasta. A little Italian place. Though, guys, how is it that pasta, like I had what? A vodka penne? It was $19. It was $19 for pasta. Like, I don't think it's even fair to say I'm getting old or whatever and prices aren't what they used to be. Just because, like, I remember, it wasn't that long ago is the thing. It wasn't that long ago that pasta didn't cost that much. Ugh. Right? I can't just be hallucinating or just like thinking about a long time ago. It is just crazy. And I'm sure everybody who owns a car right now can attest to some of the crazy gas prices. I don't have that to contend with. But Mordio said this on the weekend, that it's like, even though I don't drive a car and we don't drive a car, everything gets delivered by like something, you know? It affects literally everything. And it's just super frustrating. It's a lot for pasta and simple sauce. I had no meat, no protein in there. Just pasta. Criminal! Criminal! But otherwise, it was a nice time. I thought it was pretty funny because the waitress there, she was nice, but I thought it was just so funny because Mordio's father found her so entertaining. She did some, you know, light ribbing, I guess, of the people. There's like, oh, what's this salad dressing? I'll find out, but once I tell you, you'll have to work here. And he's like, she's so funny. I don't know. It was nice. It was kind of funny. I think my father would react similarly to her. He says some weird things though. He's like, that's a woman. He would say something like, that's a woman who takes pride in her work. And it's like, yeah, it's good waitress. I'm happy that she can make little jokes at her work. But I do not blame the person who doesn't do that. 'Cause, like, you know, life's a hellscape. Segasonica, I'm sorry, Rob, I don't know, I just like converted back to doing your username for some reason. Hi Rob, how are you? I know you've been super busy. I hope you have time to relax. How are you and how was your weekend? Let's just talking about our weekend here. It's pretty good. I did see what my mother was up to. I've been looking at my sister's Instagram stories to get updates on her and the family. Looks like they're having a good time. They're going to all the fancy places in the Philippines, man. When I last went, and even the time before that, I went to the real Philippines. They're going to all the fancy places. Oh shoot. Wait a minute. Oh, never mind. We're good. They're in like nice hotels and all that. Meanwhile, I was stuck in the bug hotel. Your weekend was great and also great? Awesome. Do anything different or fun? Or you got a lot of work done, I'm assuming? So there's this, I would say classic dish in the Philippines where it's basically just one whole roast pig. And they were at a hotel that just brought out, like they were announcing it and brought it out. I don't know. It was very cool. I kind of miss it, honestly. I remember seeing my first... there's like a specific word for this whole roast pig, but I don't know what it is. But I remember seeing that for the first time in my life, and it was like a really Filipino time in my life. You're chilling with your family you chilled with your family this weekend, and it was great. That's awesome. It was really nice weather, at least for part of the time. Most of the time I was out, it was very nice. And we actually sat outside, which was probably like the first time this year that I've been able to do that. Like we've had nice weather, but there's not really anywhere to sit outside in the library, so their place was pretty nice. And it's not quite super buggy weather, or at least they didn't have mosquitoes or anything as far as I could tell, and I didn't get bits, and if there were some, I would have. I attract mosquitoes like crazy. So it's so pleasant, man. I'm just sad because I just know that this kind of weather is far and few between, because it's gonna get really hot, I bet. And when it's spring, it's always like gonna be raining in the next few hours. You're doing character layouts. It's a genuine yay, but a lot of ellipses I see. Getting a lot done. You just finished 4 shots and you're about to be on shot 5. Nice. Sounds like a very productive day or time for you. So I'm happy. Happy that's going well. I've got a new song on repeat now. The repeat song of the day is Dracula by Tame Impala or Tame Impala. I'm not really sure how you're to pronounce that. It's been in my head for a while. Oh my gosh, 37? Oof. Good luck. My fingers ache for you. I was rigging, like I was saying, for the clown VTuber, and sometimes I use my pen for that, but a lot of the time I'm using a mouse, and it was my fingers were cramping from that, just like checking back and forth X and Y. Ooh, like that. I have to be careful not to or to take breaks, which I'm not want to do. Because once I put something down, it's a little difficult for me to pick up again. I think it's the ADHD, probably. That's why I haven't finished this, because I put it down and I did a different project. And now I'm struggling to finish it. But that's why streaming is so nice. Because I can force myself to do it as part of, I don't know, entertainment, if that's what you'd like to call this. But we're making progress. And this style is just, I don't know, it's interesting because I'm doing line art as a secondary thing, but it's still so clean. And Chalice has so many stupid details. Like his shoulder stuff really doesn't. It's just like a bunch of bullshit. My pen options are covering the art? Oh, hold on. Oh, what the heck? That's not even showing up on my, like, I don't see that. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I can, ooh. There we go. Sorry guys, I didn't realize I was up the whole time. I was just, no, I was drawing. Guys, I was drawing. You can't hear very well because you have 6 streams up right now or something. And I bet you're listening to music. It wasn't up the whole time? You don't know? No one's actually watching my stream. I'm banning everybody here. Only like 3 and in a voice. And you're in a voice chat? Oh my goodness.
I have arrived.
Hello.
Radio
welcome,
Bonaire rated your channel
Raiders.
with free viewers.
I'm Nova Minokawa, your fallen star rising to the top of your hearts with an art stream. And that's all I really have to say about that. Masha, hello. Hello, hello. I should probably post the full art of my clown self as well. Hello, how was Ocarina of Time? You were going at it for quite a while. Do you make a lot of progress? I did finish the clown. Would you like to see? That's a rhetorical question. I'm gonna show you anyway. I showed it earlier on stream, but yeah, I think it turned out super cute, and I really like the line weight of stuff. There's a couple of things like I've already mentioned before, but some of this is like not ordered correctly, well, it's ordered correctly, but I can't change it until I go into rating, which I have. But yeah, Clova, yes. You turn some chicks into chickens. Yippee! Well, anyway, this is it, and I think it's super cute. Wah, 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 wah. Honestly, I really do like the line art. I kind of killed it on this one. Not gonna lie. Other than that, you've done jack shit. That's okay. But yeah, I'm rigging this as I started rigging this today. And now I am, like, I could have made this a stream where I did, did rigging, but I really want to finish this. So that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, thanks for raiding over. So, is anybody interested in the controversy that is happening with ArtFight right now? I've alluded to it in my stream title here. But they've implemented some new rules for what you can and can't do. Let me bring it up specifically so I can quote it to you directly, because I don't want to like give you inexact information here, especially when it's as juicy as this. Let me see. I wonder if I can find it immediately. I'm gonna probably spend too much time trying to find it. Is it in my likes? Oh yes, okay. So a new rule says you cannot make art traced from posable 3D models such as Clip Studio Paint, Design Doll, and Cinema programs, self-made bases, and photographs you have taken. Now, for those who aren't very familiar with art, if you're not sure what's wrong with this, let me tell you, you can't use photographs you've made. Now, I will say, like, I think when people see the word traced, I think there's not enough nuance in what is kind of like acceptable and not. But what's incredible is that I feel like people who are running ArtFight should be sort of in the know of these conversations. Like, if you're it's so fine for people to take a reference. It seems weirdly arbitrary. Yeah, I don't know why. They're banning all tracing, including posable 3D models, Clip Studio Paint, and self-made bases, and photographs you've taken. Let me tell you, I have posed my own hand and traced over it many times. And there's no shame in that. I don't feel bad about that. References are how you learn. Right. It sounds elitist. I just think it sounds so misguided, right? And here's the thing. You can see the base I'm doing for Chalice right now. I have a 3D base right here. But let me tell you, if you've ever tried to just trace a 3D model, it never turns out the way you want it, right? Like, there are a lot of things you do on top of using the model reference to create your character. Like, look, these profiles are very different. And even though I have this as a base, like, it's clearly my style and is simply for just a reference. Uh-oh, disqualified. Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Apparently they're allowing it for like, when you do ArtFight, you have your own collection of references of your character. So they say, oh, if you're using it for your character reference, that's fine. But you can't draw an attack with it, right? I still think that's not a good rule. Yep. Why? Because I don't know. They probably were looking at a revision. They were just sort of like going over the rules, and it goes, hey, maybe we should include something that talks about, we should just do a refresher of our rules. And tracing's bad, right? But we need to be more specific. We need posable 3D models. These are fair use. These are fair use models that are built in the program of one of the biggest, most widely used programs ever. Yeah, so a lot of people are rightly upset, and I wonder if they will change this rule. I have no idea. But I got it. Because you know, guys, I love ArtFight. I talk about it all the time. But if they are implementing this rule, I don't know if I will do it this year. Because not only am I so busy and have a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do, it's just a stupid rule. Part of you feels like these rules may have been like apologies if anyone catches strays. Go on. Bro, they're just shoveling a pile of shit so they can have a hill to die on. Yeah, I mean, there have been previous controversies in ArtFight before. I don't really know the whole deal with it, just because it was some like mod nonsense and whatever. I won't really speak on it because I'm not very educated in it, but this one is like, ugh. Like, I get it when it comes to saying no AI art. That makes total sense. Or like tracing other people's artwork. Like, I don't think that's cool either. But if it's your own stuff, like, come on. You know, I'll even say like, I think it could get maybe cloudy if you're talking about assets that you bought, but I don't know. Even then I'm like, that's fine. Because, like, think about it. Say you bought one of the brushes on Clip Studio Paint or someone's, like, I don't know, foliage brushes. You're gonna ban that? Like, no, that doesn't make sense. A Dorcas stock would be so disappointed. Oh my gosh, I love a Dorcas stock. Would it be fair to say that these guidelines seem to be set by the kind of artist that doesn't or wasn't trained to rely on certain methods? So it's interesting you bring that up because I heard that, and I think it's kind of crazy, but I hear that no one on the ArtFight team is actually an artist. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. But it does, like, I think you're right. It sounds very much like people who, and that's what I was saying before, like people who don't really do art and so don't understand sort of like the nuances of it. And I don't even think it's really a big nuance. I don't think it's a subtle thing. I think there's just this crazy misunderstood thing of people not knowing what's okay and what, I don't know. It's a little silly. I will say that. It's a little silly. You remember being adjacent to a really obnoxious group that said real artists don't use references and left some marks. It's, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's a real thing. I'm sorry, when I say that I don't think that's a real thing, what I mean is I don't think anyone who is an actual artist or has done art like for a while would say that that's a bad thing to do. It's just kind of ridiculous. Yeah, and I think it's just, it goes around, right? It goes around where people are like, hey, don't trace other people's work. And another person goes, yeah, and if you trace it all, that's bad. And it's like, whoa, 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 that's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. Is that a chest window? It sure is. My baby boy got stabbed right in the chest window. It was pretty funny. Alright, I gotta remember how to do this, right? It's where the swords get stored. A spear window, if you... Yes! Yes. I was kind of debating whether or not I wanted him to keep, like, the scar, but I decided not to because, I don't know, I just want my boy to be beautiful. Not that scars aren't beautiful. What I'm trying to say is that I designed him very particularly, and I don't want to adjust the design quite yet. That is what I mean. It's sort of like my other character. So I have this other character named Rowan, and he has a scar, a very visible scar that was like apparent in his part of his backstory. But then there was a one of my friends, or the PCs, was a healer, and like she wanted to heal his scars, and like at the time I was like, oh, he might want to have this done. But as someone who wants to draw him, I was like, I want to see his scars. I want to keep drawing his scars. Was it a spear? Was it a sword? Was it a knife? I think it might have been a spear. Mordio, maybe you remember precisely what ran through my boy's chest. On one hand, spirits of life and freedom like Genshin's Venti. On the other hand, Street Fighter's Vega. Right, you get it. You also have the memory of a mushroom. It was a short blade, an off-hour soldier, so they didn't have their full gear set. I said, you wouldn't run a sword through a noble, would you? And then he did. And that, you know what, that's my bad. That's my bad. I hope we can play this Thursday. I'm so excited for what will happen. I think, you know, it's very possible we'll do Chalice's backstory, and I'm like nervous, but I also am excited to sort of explore that. It's whenever you have a character and it's your turn to roleplay, it's like, oh boy, I have like a very deep and complex backstory that I want to explore, but then it comes to like actually exploring it, like the time comes and you're like, oh, oh, do we really have to do this right now? Teehee. But I think I'm prepared for the most part. I've been thinking a lot about I spent a lot of time coming up with his family. And it's fleshed out for the most part. Yeah. Mordio also has a mushy memory. For the record, Vega is one of the villains and is a madman right out of Utena or Sailor Moon. Ah. Well, I'll just look it up right now. Street Fighter Vega. Oh. Yes, I see what you mean. I like. Where's my sketch? There it is. I did almost no work today. Took it easy because my manager is out and there was nothing that really came in, so I had a relaxing day. I did have a lot of eye strain though, because when I'm rigging these VTuber models, my eyes are like super focused, trying to create art meshes. Oh, it's so painful, but so necessary. And I'm trying to remember a lot of how I did things. I think the last time, well, I did use Live 2D to do some of Keys' emotes, or well, the one emote I did for him, but not in like a in a modeling sense. I used it for animation. I will say that the toughest part of doing that commission was simply trying to make it the same speed as my own waving emoji, because I didn't save the animation for that, so I had to time it a little meticulously. But it turned out well, I think. Keys is a very good type of commissioner. There's some people aren't great to commission or to have you be commissioned by them. Unfortunately. But Keys is one of the good ones. I probably need to adjust this horn. Yep. I ended up getting a VGen, what do they call it? Code from Katie. So I did set that up, or at least part way. I made my profile. But I haven't thought about prices still. I had like this formula that I was gonna do, but then I forgot the base price. Now I have to remember. And then I'm debating again if it's like too much, if it's even worth it. And then another part of me is like, why are you even doing commissions? You rarely get them. Is it worth the effort? But then I think about my job security. And I'm like, well, probably should think about that. Money, I know. Yeah, I've thought about what I would do. Maybe I've already talked about this, but if I were to lose or quit my job, what would be my immediate game plan? And I would, what I would do is I would probably reset up my shop with all the pins that I've done and try to sell off all the extra stuff that I have, like sort of dedicate time to my shop while I also looked for jobs. And then just, I guess, hope for the best. Let's see, I made a, I ended up making an Excel sheet, a Google sheet of jobs that I've applied to, what their title was, where they were located, how much they said they were going to ask, or how much the range they put. And then I put what I asked for and if I heard back and all that, blah, blah, blah. So like half my list is already like, oh, they already said no. I wonder if I'll ever hear back. It's tough. Can't even get into the interview stage. And to be fair, it's like I'm looking at strictly remote or hybrid positions, which is all fake anyway. Especially when they say hybrid. It's like, if it's hybrid, they'll be like, chance to remote, but we prefer in person. It's like, okay, well, so you're not gonna look at any of the people who said they would only remote. Because they have those questions too. They're like, would you be willing to commute? Do you have reasonable transportation? It's like, you said this was a remote position, but they're liars. They're liars. And you have to say yes to it, otherwise they won't consider you at all. Your brother had a similar experience? Ugh. Oops. Yeah, and it's like, oops, did I draw this on the wrong layer? Wait, where is this? What's this then? Oh. Whoopsies. So wait, this is torso and this is the shirt, okay. Remote job at a bank, and they were stuffing responsibilities his position wasn't supposed to do on him. Ugh. Story of my life. I actually had a, it's the time where we do self-evaluations. And you gotta tell management why you're important. And I had such a good manager and boss and all that, and now it's all gone. And the boss said there's no, well, we expect all of our employees to be a leader in some way. Yeah, but you pay more some than others. That's such bullshit. But anyway, basically told me there's no room for me to grow. But on my self-evaluation, I still put, hey, I want the firm, or, you know, I want the company rather to recognize that and do stuff for me. But it'll probably go nowhere. We will see. I did pretty well this year, but again, like there's new people, so they don't really know any of my stuff. So I have to like say, oh, stuff that happened in months and months ago. I did do this. What is all this stuff here? What is... Oh, it's his chest still. Okay. Question, can you drum on this guy's chest? Are you asking if he's fit? Because he's not particularly fit. He is just soft and lean and no muscle mass. If you're just asking permission to drum anyways, then you have permission. No, that reminds me because I've been watching Witch Hat Atelier. It's so good, guys. It's so freaking good. And I already knew it was good because I've been reading the manga and I love it. But the anime, the adaptation is real good. And anyway, the reason I said that is because people were saying one of the main guys, Kifri, who is partially who Chalice is inspired by, they were like, they made him buff in the anime. In the manga, he's so lanky and everything, but they gave him abs. Why are his breasts so defined? I would say they have similar builds. You remembered a movie theater story from that story? Oh, tell me. Go on. Torso, yes. I think I'll make it a little darker. Yes. You had to train a new staff for a huge theater opening at your location. Get the little furry chest hairs defined. Very important. Very important chest hairs. V-I-C-H. Vish. They're being paid more than you in the same position, but because they were at a new theater? And you managed to hear what their salaries are? Dang. Legs. Pants, I guess I'll call it. Make sure you knew that they were being paid more and were super insubordinate and inconsiderate. Oh, wow. I'm actually surprised that they would say how much they're paid more and then treat you guys like shit, because you don't really, like, especially if you're not in a higher position, why would you say that, I guess? Like, usually I would imagine people who are telling you their salary in a similar position is because they want to help you, but sounds like that's not what they were doing. Sucks. Also, what a lame flex. It's like, do you know how much we're getting paid? It's a lot more than you. Lame. Amusingly, the managers told them not to say that, but they wanted to dab on you and look down on you. Oh, that's so stupid. It's also very dumb. It's very dumb. Because now you would think, at least the company, that's why they don't want you to say anything, have leverage to say, well, hey, I should be paid just as much as them. Oops. I'm not being paid enough, bro. I'm not being paid enough. I kind of want to bring it up. I'm just so curious. I feel like I'm a little too... antagonistic. I'm just like imagining scenarios where upper management will be like, hey, we could see improvement, or you're not doing enough, or blah, blah, blah. And just being like, okay, well, you guys are not paying me market rate, so maybe I'll do a little better if you do that for me. Ugh. I don't know. Sometimes I can have a mouth. They were horrid. You split the location in half, and they had a site all to themselves. Theirs was consistently dirty, and they needed your help constantly. Ugh! They were being paid a full $1 more than... That's such a lame flex! They're like, oh, we're paid $1 more, by the way. Which, like, hey, all dollars add up when it's especially like that. But, like, still lame as hell. I'm sorry, they were assholes. About to say that hell sucks, but competition for the bottom of the barrel isn't a good look. I know. You took joy booting them out when their location opened. Good. I don't think I've ever had like bad coworkers. Certainly bad management, but not coworkers. My coworkers are usually chill and good. I did have one person I disliked, I wouldn't say for no reason, but not for like good reasons. Kind of like petty reasons. But it's like, you know, I think you can just, as long as you're not being mean to anybody, why not hate a little bit? That's not a very idle thing to say, I don't think, but I stand by it. Just a harm is like, hey, can you believe what Cheryl did? Jesus. Yeah, you don't have to like everyone. The reason I didn't like this person, though, was because she was telling me how to do my job, and she was not a graphic designer. And I cannot tolerate that. It's not that I can't take constructive feedback, but it was more, you know, it's all in the way you say things, you know what I mean? You cannot pretend to know more about graphic design than me if you are not a graphic designer. I'm sorry. I also feel like she had sort of a crush on my other coworker, my superior, who's really great, by the way. And I think she was just trying to get in or something. I don't know. She wanted to be on our team. Yeah. The library has an idol now? Yeah. It's just me pretending to be an idol. Why do you feel like me and Morty would make an amazing duet team? Oh, I mean, I don't know. Like, idol is such a very... If it means singing, we would not be a very good duo. But if it's just this, then why not? I'm not beholden to anyone. I'm not in a group. That's why I can do whatever I want. And I can stream things without asking for permission. Waiting for perms. You don't... I don't know that you can... Oh, you don't know that you can sing very well. I don't think I've seen you actually try to sing, though. Last birthday, everybody got to see me try to sing. And I'm very conscious about my abilities. I don't think, like... Hopefully I'm not screeching your ears bad, but I make no mistake. I know I'm not good. And I know when things are a stretch, but sometimes it's just fun to sing. And that's what's important. Yeah, and I can swear and say words like damn and heck and penis. Vagina. I can say those things. That's, you know, I think idols can also say those things though. So. I know they're discouraged from, at least like some idol groups are discouraged from saying or cursing. But no one actually like enforces that rule. All you can think of is when I played Vampire Therapist was like the words in the text. Here's the thing. I'm actually just a very shy person. I'm actually just kind of shy. When I was young, like a child, I would always like turn my head away from kissing. I'd be like, oh my god, they're kissing. Ah! Even now though, I kind of still do that. If it's, I don't know, if it's like it depends on the kiss, right? It depends on the kiss. Some kisses are like, ugh. If there's like too much mouth motion in kisses, if there's like biting lips or whatever, I'm like, ew. Like, I don't actually particularly like to see that kind of stuff. I will turn my head. If it goes too long, I'm like, all right, we need to stop. Oh shit, where can you post a cool TTRPG video in the library? You can put it in, you could just put it in general, or if you want to put it in lecture hall where it's like, if you don't want to mess up, or not mess up, if you don't want to put it in general chat, you can put it in lecture hall. It's kind of it's interesting where my boundaries sort of lie in terms of quote sensitive content, because like my friends could say the most insane messed up stuff you've ever heard, or like talk about whatever kinks that they want or that they're into. That stuff doesn't faze me. Like, that doesn't bother me. But if it's ever like talking about myself or something, like I don't like talking about my particular interests or whatever. Like, that's all. I like to keep my stuff private. But if people are talking about their own stuff, like that's fine and it doesn't bother me. I've heard some stuff. And that's always sort of confused people that I've been around, and sort of they've mistaken me for being on the A spectrum because of that. It's just like, no, I'm just private about those kind of things. There's a difference. Unofficial Toho TRPG and lecture. Ooh, Genso Narratograph? Mordio, have you heard this before? Is it new? I'm just gonna take a peek. Oh, dang, it was posted 24 minutes ago. Wow. You beta reading your friend's Transformers smut. Cool story. Yeah, exactly. All right, we're actually getting somewhere here, which is nice. Ankles. Half an hour down. Good work, good work. Ankles, feet, them grippers? No bear grippers. But yes, ankle. Because we gotta make him a little slutty, you know? We gotta show a little bit of feet. Or, well, ankles. It's the, mystery that makes it alluring, right? Okay, good luck on dishes. Dragon Kid is good. He made his name covering tons of Lancer Mecha TTRPG and is covering indie TTRPGs. Oh, are they like they're just sort of what's the word? Ooh, not I guess reviewing stuff. I told Mordio that she should do some videos about reviewing TTRPGs because there's so many of them in the library and she's read all of them. And I get to hear a lot about the latest ones that they've read. So I feel like it would be interesting. Not reviewing, but it's him gushing about the system he loves. Oh, okay. Shoo. It's a whole series on Fabula Ultima 2 that got you invested in that over Lancer. Oh, interesting. Sometimes reviewing can be like talking about things you like, but it can also be like have some criticisms about it. So I get that. Overviewing, you suppose? I don't particularly listen to like reviews of TTRPG systems. It's not necessarily my thing because I don't have a very good attention span, and I'm more about character playing than mechanics. I can't quite grasp mechanics in the same sense that other people do. Like, I'll just be like, oh, that sounds cool. And then someone will explain like, oh, how that's overpowered or does nothing. And I'll be like, oh, that makes sense. But my own opinions don't really form for those kinds of things. Friend of the channel, Beats Creations, does basically almost exclusively that kind of stuff. And I do my best to understand it, but for the most part, I'm just like, cool art or sounds neat, because I have no opinions. You know, he has like short stories in a fabulous sense, explaining the functions of each class and talking about inspirations and executions. Well, honestly, that could be interesting for me. It's never something I seek out though, but that's cool. Your eyes are open to a world of indie or TTRPGs after a game of Magical Girl Burst, Pokemon Tabletop Unite, and Fivixa flavored Fabula Ultimate One Shot. Oh yeah, no, I love indie TTRPGs. Like I like doing them more than sort of like big box names. But it's not because here. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I need to play something in order to like understand it and get a feel for it. It's difficult for me to sort of grasp what it's going for just by reading the rules. So I need to like play stuff to get into it, and I'm always down to trying new stuff. I know Mordio does because we have so many things that we could be doing. No, don't apologize. I know I consider you quite the expert in a lot of these kinds of games. You definitely seem like you have a lot of knowledge about it. Sometimes I feel like a bit of a fake fan, if you will, because I don't know the ins and outs of these kind of things, but I play it regularly. It was definitely like that when I was doing Toho stuff. One time I was dressed as Marissa at a con, and there was someone who was also dressed as a Toho character and had a trumpet and was playing the theme, like her theme or something, or like from one of the levels. And when I didn't turn around, he goes, "Oh, I thought you would recognize it." And I was like, I don't know, sorry. Too casual. You get excited easily about things. No worries. I like that. It's much more fun to talk to people who like stuff than hate stuff, you know? Ankle! That was pretty good foot, I would say. I gotta do the back one now. In the corner is just a fox screaming about things. Back shoe. There's so many layers. So many gosh dang layers.
Impressive.
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 An impressive amount of layers.
Impressive.
Yeah. I mean, this is a big document, and I've got, like, each body has their own separate layers, so it's a pretty impressive amount of layers. But I've seen a lot of people do crazy amount of layers. I think it's fine to have a lot of layers if you label them, but some madmen out there aren't labeling their layers. It gives me anxiety. Honestly, once something becomes pretty long, like this is actually pretty long for me, but once it starts becoming like, I don't know, more than 5 layers, I put it in a folder. It goes into a folder if it gets too long. And if there are too many folders, then I group the folders into another folder. And if I really need to, I color code them. I will stay organized until the very end. Until the very end, all things are labeled. But then, like, once it comes to the finish line and I'm putting just, like, effect layers and stuff like that, my process sort of falls apart. And then my signature layer gets, doesn't get labeled. Impressive. Did impressive go off twice? Or was it just the once? I don't remember because you can play it as a sound alert, but on my stream you can also, I think you can do exclamation point impressive, and that'll work. I heard it twice, so I don't know if that worked or not. If Shane popped on or what. Okay, we're almost there. Well, not really. Ah, he's so many details. Ah, I did this to myself. Would you like to know how long Clip Studio Paint says I've been working on this? 12 hours and 30 minutes. It's a lot of time. Yuan! Oh my gosh, hi! How are you? Hello again. How have you been? How was your weekend? I'm glad to see you again. I'm really happy that you posted art in the Discord. I really liked your stuff. So very, very cute. I'm looking at it right now. I'm going back to look at it. You did Asuka. That was very, very pretty. What do I need to do? Oh yeah, I was gonna do the pants buckle. You've caught me doing this drawing again. Lena, hello! How are you? Glad to see you here. I hope everybody had a nice weekend.
Someone save me.
Save? Okay, good idea. Did a quick little save there. Masha's so good at reminding people to do things they might forget. I go, unfortunately, a long time without saving when it comes to streaming. I think I'm well, maybe not. I was gonna say I'm a little better at it when it's just by myself, but I don't think that's true. It does take maybe 30 minutes for me into a drawing before I'm like, oh shoot, I should probably save that. It's the anxiety. Yeah. It's cause, I don't know, sometimes saving's a little intuitive for me, because I just do a quick Control S while I'm doing Control Z's. But doesn't mean that I necessarily am doing it. I was in a lot of pain last night. I don't know why. My limbs were sore. I mean, I was definitely drawing a lot. I was doing the Clown Nova drawing for basically the whole day on Saturday. So maybe that's what messed me up. But I also, just like the right side of my legs and body was very stiff. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like leaning on my one leg too much, or maybe I'm sitting too much in a leaned position. It was very painful. And I took some medication I took a medication that also makes you go to sleep. And I had a very long sleep. And my sleep app said I did very well. It gave me high marks for sleeping well. You switched dishes and started the dishwasher. Woo! Please be okay. Oh, thank you. I'm good. No, I'm good. Sometimes if I need a little, like, it was particularly painful, so I was like, well, I might as well just go to sleep. Let me pull it up right here. I need to do more like back and arm stretches. I'm not very good at that. My sleep score was 87, and I slept for 9 hours and 6 minutes. That's pretty good. 9 hours is long. Yeah, good sleep. It's interesting how these kind of apps measure how you sleep, because 2 nights ago, I slept incredibly well. And I woke up, I felt refreshed. I woke up at like 7:10, 7:20, something like that. And I hopped right out, which is early for me. I know some people might need to wake up earlier for work or something, but. And it said I slept, my score was, what's it, in the 60s? Actually, that'd be kind of crazy if it was in the 60s, because that's pretty bad. Oh no, it was 76. And it said non-restorative. You slept long enough, but not well, for my stress levels to go down. Might feel higher stress or fatigue today. That was 2 days ago. Oh well. I don't know how it measures stress either. Okay, I need to add the arms, sleeve. But when I take medication like that, it's usually, I don't really feel super rested. But it said I slept very well, so I don't know, whatever. I think maybe it doesn't matter necessarily how you feel when you wake up. Maybe what matters is that the rest of the day, how well you feel the rest of the day. What am I getting buzzed with? I keep getting messages on my watch because it's connected to my phone, and my phone is also probably getting too many messages. But I've tried to stop. I tried unsubscribing to this particular website multiple times. I like going on it, I like using it, but I don't want any notifications. And I accidentally have logged in on this, oops, what the hell? I've accidentally logged in onto this website with 3 different emails. So I am getting notifications 3 different times. It's bad. And I kept doing unsubscribe, and it says it's been successful. Liar! Liars! It's still coming. Stop, stop! It's so annoying. And I can't, maybe I can block it? I don't know. I absolutely hate it. So I actually take the time to go through my emails, and if I'm getting, like, I have a junk email basically, and I put anything that needs signups on it, and if it's not like important. But even then I go through it, and then if I see like too many of one thing, I go to the unsubscribe section. But some of these things will just not work. They won't work. And some of them lie to you. I've also had to disable a couple of, I had to disable Google's AI tools, which are now basically integrated into the system. And if you say no, or like if you want to get rid of the AI parts of it, you're also getting rid of some of the functionalities that just should be around. Like, it won't do spell check for you anymore if you turn off AI. Uh-oh, we've got only 4 fingers here. I gotta fix that. I know, it's ridiculous. And it won't sort your emails either like it did before. So, before it was able to filter, your emails like, oh, these are all social media, and it's like notifications, you got 2 likes on this or whatever. And it would sort it into a separate tab. But if you disable the AI stuff, it just puts it in one block email, which, you know, isn't the biggest problem, but it was a nice feature that I liked that doesn't have to be tied to AI, yet it is. I don't know, maybe it's like, again, there's different kinds of AI, but it's all lumped together, and I'm against generative AI. But, like, did they change? I don't know how things are working in the back, you know? Like, I think they're just using all generative stuff now, even things that worked before where it was like just code that would sort of scan your emails and know whether or not something was related to something else. Now it's just all bullshit. Sorry to be boomer there. They're such piss babies about it, yeah. Maybe I do it with the finger here. Sort of like how Instagram, their search button is auto AI too. Like if I'm just trying to look up someone I followed before, you have no choice but to search with Meta AI. Your search function was fine before. I don't need it. Stop shoving it down my throat, please. Please. Also, if you can remove Chrome from your PC, they're automatically downloading AI stuff without notice. Well, luckily, well, do I have it? Okay, so I do have Chrome, and I literally have only used it for when we're doing draw piles. But I do use Firefox for literally everything else. But if it's doing it in the background, that really sucks. I'll do it right now. Get rid of it right now. Hopefully this doesn't affect my streaming though. Just because it's using resources or something. Where is Chrome? I don't see it, but I know I have the, oh, here it is, Google Chrome. Uninstall. And delete my browsing history. All right. Oh wait, we're at 10 o'clock. Okay. That means we're done for today. Well, I did get a lot of progress done, so that's good. Also, I get to see my friend tomorrow. We're gonna have a little tea date. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. Time flies, it sure does. Yay, I'm so excited. I haven't seen her in a while, and I've got so much. She used to work with me, so I still give her the tea of what goes down. So she's interested, and I can't wait to vent about it. Yay, look at this, pretty good. There's still, okay, so the things that I have left to do for this is the cloak, just like the outside. That shouldn't be too bad, but it's gonna be his chest thingies that are gonna be complicated. And once that's done, it's pretty much, I just have to draw the other side of his face. And like I said, I'm not going to, or maybe I'll draw like a little example of what the back without the cloak looks like, but just the butt section, because I don't want to draw the whole thing again. But yeah, it's nearly done. I really like this side profile. I tried so many times to get it right. I actually 3D modeled a very poor copy of his head and how his hairs would land on his head because it's confusing as heck. But but I think it turned out really well. He has a very handsome face here, so I'm excited to do that as well. It's nearly done, and then I have a beautiful new reference to use well, for everything, but also for ArtFight, if they decide to pull back that that new rule, because it's stupid. Oopsies, I took off his pants. Nope, I did it again. I wanted to show. Here we go. He's so handsome. I love him. My handsome boy. My handsome boy. Ahahaha. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm very happy. All right, good work, me. Claps my hand. All right, let's see who we want to raid into today. You need to work on that reno art you were doing. Oh, yes, yes. We need to see the other people as well. Oh, do I want to, maybe this person? They kind of look like a clown, but I don't know. They got a clown nose. And they're doing art. We'll work on it tomorrow. Cool. Nice. I'm excited to see it. All right, guys. If you're on Twitch, we're going to be raiding into Big's Regretty. Take the message, the raid message, and say hello, and then you can do your own thing. And thank you for joining me today. Let's see. The rest of this week. Oh, wait. I'm playing a new game on Wednesday. I didn't put the schedule out. My bad. Tangle Tower. Then TTRPG on Thursday, Friday, more Final Fantasy stuff, shrug? I'm not sure. We'll see. But thank you guys for being here today, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye, subscribe, like, and all that other jazz. Good night.